Oh, we have a...
Here we go.
This is good. We have... I feel like Batman.
What?
I feel like Batman. We can pick somebody up. This is amazing. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get out of the car, and I'm going to greet this person. And with the water, I'm going to open the door for them. It's going to be amazing. Wang, yep.
Shawn Kanungo.
Another episode of The Dip. This is episode number 3 of a 10-part series, I think.
10? That's very ambitious of you, Shawn.
Well, it's the first season. The first season.
I'm just joking. I'm sure we'll easily do 10. We'll surpass 10.
How are you feeling about the podcast so far?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling excited. Every person that I've talked to has given me ideas on who to talk to next.
Right.
And to be honest with you, when we started this podcast, I wasn't sure that there were that many people and that many industries to talk about in terms of disruption. But as I'm interviewing and talking to people, I'm learning more and more about their perspective on disruption.
I don't want to listen to anybody else's perspective on disruption. I just want to hear our perspective on disruption and innovation.
That's true. That's fair. That's fair.
I don't want to hear anybody else giving me their opinions. No, I'm joking. No, that's great. I'm happy that there's some traction on this front. This episode is about the sharing economy. We're going to talk about Uber, Airbnb, Lyft, HomeJoy, all these different types of services. And what I think would be really cool, Wang, and I'm just going to throw this at you, but I know you have recently become an Uber driver, right?
Mm-hmm, yes.
What would be cool is if I actually got into the car with you and we drove around together. So you signed up as a driver.
Yeah,
and we were going to pick people up in your car.
Yes.
This is amazing. I'm so excited, to be honest with you. I've always wanted to do this.
Well, I signed up a couple months ago because I was interested in seeing how Uber worked, and I didn't think I would get a full-time income out of it, but...
Well, no, you have a full-time income
I do
already.
have a full-time income already, but I guess I wanted to see what it was like.
Okay, and we pick up Uber riders.
That's right.
And we ask them questions, random questions.
Well, I guess we could we could ask.
We'll ask them questions about Uber, I guess.
Yeah, it'd just be fun, I think.
Okay.
And then what I'll do is I'll go because I go on Uber a lot, and so what I would do is get into other people's cars and ask them about Uber. So get literally both perspectives of that about the sharing economy and Uber.
What about taxi drivers?
My original plan was I wanted to get a taxi driver that would be willing to go into an Uber. And I was like, I was walking around downtown.
First of all, it's impossible to find a cab in Edmonton. I don't know why. You just gotta call. It's not like other cities.
Trying to find somebody who would be actually willing to be on camera, like a taxi driver, and I got rejected like 3-4 times.
Do you mind if I record then? If I record you on film?
Sorry?
I was wondering if I can record you on film.
My film?
Yeah, well, if I can record you on film. For my film.
Okay, you record outside?
Well, I'm recording inside.
Okay.
Is that
inside?
okay? Inside, yeah.
Why?
I just want to ask you questions for this, kind of a port for my documentary that I'm doing.
No.
You don't want to be in it?
No.
Oh, okay. That's fine. Thank you.
Yeah, we could do that too.
Yeah? Okay.
Why don't we go to the moon too? Okay, that's what we'll do. I will get into a taxi. I will get into some Ubers. We will ride together, and this will be a very well-researched podcast. The first guy that picked me up was this guy named Sandeep. Amazing guy.
Okay. How long has he been doing Uber?
Yeah, I was waiting for you to ask me a question around it. How long have you been driving for?
Uber?
Yeah.
Uber only 1 month, man.
1 month.
Yeah.
Why did he get into it?
He got into it because he's looking for money. I didn't want to get into the details, but I think he either was looking for a job or he got out of his last job.
So then, what type of work are you looking for? Like, what kind of job do you want to get?
I'm used to be truck driver before.
Yeah.
Now I work used to be in sales 4.5 years.
Yeah. What kind of sales? What would you sell?
Furniture sales.
Furniture sales?
Yeah.
I want to understand your perspectives on the sharing economy.
Well, the first thing that I thought of when I heard about Uber, Lyft, Postmate, these kind of companies that capitalize on the sharing economy was it made a lot of sense. There's a lot of underutilized resources out there. And why not capitalize on those underutilized resources and make them valuable in some way? So something like Uber, Lyft, cars spend, I don't know how much time on their driveways, parked somewhere.
They say 96% of the time
Okay.
they're literally not doing anything.
And instead of not doing anything, they could be used to drive people around.
Yeah. So do you think that the sharing economy will spread across all industries, like ties, suits, cleaning, picking up staplers? Like, will it go across every vertical industry object?
I don't think so. I think it'll spread, but I think in only some industries it makes sense. And
Why can't I? If I have an asset, the whole point of the sharing economy is if you have an asset,
Yeah.
you can share it.
Yes, but it only makes sense for, I think, certain assets, and those assets, I believe, are...
That has some sort of value.
Yeah, they have some kind of big monetary value, that and it doesn't make sense to necessarily own that asset yourself. So, for instance, a car. Some people don't own cars.
Right.
Or house, like Airbnb. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Some people just rent their whole life, and that's fine, and that's a valid thing. But something like a stapler, well, I can buy a stapler if I needed one.
Right.
Why do I have to spend the time, and it could be 15, it could be half an hour, until a stapler comes to me? I could borrow one, sure, but...
Right. But what about items that are considered unique? You have one side that are monetarily more expensive, but you have other items that could be considered unique and like things that you couldn't really get in the market.
What kind of items?
Like, I don't know, maybe you have like a bow tie, like a striped bow tie that you can't find anywhere. You create something, a market around this asset that maybe other people want to. I can't think of a really good example of something really unique.
Yeah.
But if you had like a pink donkey, very unique, and maybe people want to have it for their weddings. Indian people, they love having things like animals at their weddings.
Yeah.
Like horses and like elephants and tigers. You have that. You can share that.
I think that already exists. You can rent animals. Unique stuff.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You can.
Yeah.
But I guess not on demand.
No.
I guess sort of.
Sort
I
of
guess
on
you
demand.
if you could call them.
Yeah. But, I guess it's just one step away from those companies offering mobile services.
Yeah.
To
So
get it on demand.
I'm really fascinated. Why did you become an Uber driver? Because I know you have a really good job. You are, you make decent money. Why in the world would you do this? I'm not judging you because I actually tried to sign up to be an Uber driver too, just for the experience. But I want to understand from your point of view, why would you do this?
Yeah, I think there's two really good reasons. First, I myself had a lot of time. Well, I didn't have a lot of time, but I had some spare time. And I thought to myself, well, if I have some spare time, I might as well spend the time doing activities that help me produce money in some way. And as you know, I'm trying to be more entrepreneurial. I write books, I do podcasts, I do this, Udemy courses. And Uber is just another one of those activities. And that's one reason why. It's the entrepreneurial side. And then the second reason is more because I'm interested in seeing the sharing economy. I'm interested in mobile technology. I'm interested in how technology is applied to industries and how it's used to solve solutions. And I wanted to see how Uber worked. And I mean, I did say 2 reasons, but now that I think about it, I think as I became an Uber driver and picked up all these people, you meet really fascinating people.
My thinking is the future of taxi.
This is the future of the taxi. Yeah.
Because I never any customer said, oh, this is a bad thing, this thing. Very positive attitude for customers.
And actually, interesting enough, he's never been inside a taxi in Edmonton in his life. He's never been into a taxi.
Really?
Yeah, I asked him this like 4 times. You mean you've never taken a taxi?
Because it's expensive.
You've never taken a taxi in Edmonton?
No.
Never taken a taxi in Edmonton ever?
No. I never.
Really?
Took every time.
So Sandeep, you're telling me that you have never, ever, not once taken a taxi.
Is there an opportunity to pick up girls in an Uber? Or
like pick up female riders? Or to pick up literally for a date?
For a date, but I see what you're saying. To pick up literally women.
Yes.
Drop them off.
Yes. Well, you definitely literally pick up women.
You literally pick them up,
yes.
But you can't.
But for dating, I think it's a little awkward because sometimes you take them home, and that's weird because then you know where they live.
Right. That is weird.
Yeah.
That is weird. Yeah. No, as a woman, yeah, I don't know if I wouldn't want to like date my Uber driver. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
No, I agree. Well, I don't know why I'm asking you that. Maybe because you're.
And I think the other weird thing is because if you're going to ask them out, they're in your car.
That's right.
If they say no for whatever reason, something bad could happen.
That's right. You're in their car.
Yeah, and there's just this tension.
You're
there's this
naturally going to get a bad rating.
Yes.
Unless you did it very smoothly or they left their number. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think.
Yeah.
You know what surprised me about this interaction with them is that they didn't know what WhatsApp was.
But they also use some things that we have.
Flip, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I haven't heard of Flip. Or maybe I heard of Flip. I don't know. They hadn't heard of Tinder, which is shocking to me. They're 18, 19 years old.
Yeah.
Fine. Are you on Tinder though?
I was thinking of getting it.
Get it. What are you guys waiting for?
He just told me about this today.
Yeah, he never heard of it.
What?
Yeah, I know. I told him, like, he's like, you have Tinder? Like, we're all starting a fire, man.
You know, the other thing that I'm doing, and I think you already know about this, I leave strategically books that I've written in my car, and I leave them out on my dashboard.
That's right. So what's your move? Because I know you're an author, and this is one of the most brilliant marketing moves that I've ever heard of in the history of marketing. Seth Godin would probably write a book on this.
I don't know about
on this
that.
alone.
He called it the dip.
Your move, yeah, that's right. The move is that you have books in your glove compartment or just about, and people would come into your car and they say, "Oh, what's this? You know, better ways to." You know, I don't have the titles of your books offhand.
But about public speaking.
And then about public speaking. And then people would naturally say, "Oh, why do you have these books?" I say, "Oh, I'm actually an author. I've written these books." And then they would buy the books, or you would tell them about your books. This is the most brilliant marketing because now you have them in your car. Literally, they're trapped in your car.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say trapped.
They're trapped in your car, and it's basically an infomercial where you're trying to sell them on your book. It's brilliant.
I don't think of it as them being trapped in my car and being forced to listen to this infomercial or whatever. To be honest, the idea wasn't mine. It was inspired originally. I think there's a guy in LA. He's selling jewelry, and he just has all his jewelry just kind of laid out. And if people ask him about the jewelry, then he will tell them about it. But if they don't ask about my books, I don't talk to them about it.
Right.
And so I just have the books out. And if they ask me about it, I'll tell them about it. If they're interested in purchasing it, then of course I'll sell it to them. But I don't try to hard sell them.
Right.
I just tell them, these are the books. This is why I wrote it. This is the information that you'll get out of the books. If you're interested, and oftentimes it's more of a sell for Toastmasters, the organization that I'm with, rather than the books themselves. You
know what you should do? You should go to Uber and tell them to add a feature where you could sell your book, and so when they're checking out, they could just pay for the book, seamless payment transaction.
That might be interesting.
I'm sure they'll get there to one point. So
let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Shawn. When was the first time that you heard about this sharing economy? What were your thoughts?
The sharing economy as it exists today. I don't know. What is the oldest piece of sharing economy out there? I think I was like maybe dresses. I can't remember. Like, there's. I guess is renting tuxes part of the sharing economy?
Yeah, I guess so.
Sort of, right?
Yeah, but it's not. It hasn't been enabled by technology in that sense.
That's right. I think Airbnb was one of the first things. I'm talking about the modern age.
Okay. Yeah.
Technologies. Airbnb has been around for quite a bit of time after they got into Y Combinator and whatnot. We used that when we went on a trip with the boys, and we thought it was a great experience. It was there was VRBO, there was Airbnb, there was all these different sites that did this. So we thought it was a great site to use. I wouldn't have never expected to be, Airbnb to be, a $20 billion industry, while, Hyatt with all their assets is worth $8 billion. I wouldn't have never expected that. In terms of Uber, I was just really excited when Uber came to Canada, when it came to Toronto. I think it came to Toronto first, and using it and just getting into an Uber for the first time is actually a magical experience. When you're building a product, you need to have that magic. And when you get into an Uber and when you get out of the Uber is when you feel the magic, because you don't have to pay for anything. It's already like seamless. That was amazing. That got me hooked. When we used Postmates for the first time too, and I don't know if Postmates is an example of the sharing economy, or is it more like the freelancer economy? Postmates is amazing too. You can order anything on demand. And the first time we did that, we got a coffee in Seattle, from a random place from a random coffee shop. This guy delivered it to our restaurant. It was amazing. It was magic.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why the sharing economy will flourish, because people love these experiences. It's so convenient. It's on demand. It's amazing. Amazing. So listen, when we pick up, I want to get back to when we pick up people.
Mm-hmm.
So when we pick up people, should I be in the front seat or should I be in the back seat?
I think you should be in the front seat.
I should be in the front seat.
Yeah.
And should we have things for people to should we give them water bottles, or what should we do?
Yeah, water is always a good touch.
What should I wear? Should I wear something nice, or?
I think just wear normal casual clothing. Maybe just wear a tie.
Because I want to be professional. I want you to get a good rating. I don't want you to impact, because you're obviously a way better looking guy than me.
No, I'm not.
I don't want to degrade your ratings on Uber.
Gym or something. They're just let me hold on. Let me open the door for you guys.
No way.
Can we? Oh, sorry.
Oh, service order.
Please.
Thanks.
No worries.
You have a little satin pillow I can sit down
You know
on?
what? We can get one. We'll buy one.
I've got a blanket in the back if you guys want to cuddle and stuff.
Okay, right? Do it. How you guys doing?
Good. All right. Sorry, I didn't get you guys' names. Corey and
Renier.
Renier?
Yep.
You guys live here, obviously?
Yes, sir.
In Edmonton?
Yep.
How do you guys know each other?
Oh, we both work out of town. About 3 hours from here. A place called Cold Lake.
I don't think honestly, I don't think they care what you look like.
Yeah.
It does look more professional if you wear a suit and a tie, but the air conditioning in my car is also broken.
Right.
So you should dress comfortably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to ask you, if I gave you a crystal ball around the future of the sharing economy, where will this go?
I think in terms of a 10, 20 year prediction, the sharing economy will become much larger. I think it will start to get into more and more assets such as household tools. Honestly, maybe it's already there. Maybe it's already around drills and things like that. Vacuum cleaners, just things that aren't super expensive, but then we don't use it every single day.
Right.
And I think it'll get to that point. I don't know what price point, but I'm just gonna throw out a number out there. $100. Anything below $100, people will still buy, keep for themselves. Over $100, they'll probably, unless they have to use it all the time, of course, cell phones and things like that, but over $100 assets.
So do you think there'll be multiple companies that will be created and they'll just continue to...
Multiple companies will be created.
Uber for X,
Yeah, multiple companies will be created, but eventually one company will absorb all of the business. One company will just rule.
So you're saying that this is a winner-take-all market?
I believe so.
And it's going to be Uber?
Well, I don't know if necessarily Uber will get into all that, but could be another company that decides to make it easy for people to share stuff.
It's funny when we say Uber for X, are we saying, like, I'm a bit confused now because when we say Uber for X, we're saying, Uber, it translates into so many different realms, like the sharing economy, like they have so many different elements into the product. They have a seamless payment system. They're building a marketplace, with drivers and people who want rides. They have this amazing GPS tracking system. Like, they have all these elements baked into the product. And so I hear Uber for medicine. That means, doctors on demand. Uber for consultants on demand. Is that part of the share? Is that part of the sharing economy? Or is that just part of the freelancer economy?
I think there's a gray area.
Is there? Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
I think there's both an element of sharing, both an element of freelancing. It's not necessarily freelancing because if you think about Uber for consultants, you're already working probably for a consulting firm. You can't do freelance consulting because...
What are you talking? Of course you can do freelance consulting.
Well, you can't do I can't do freelance consulting in technology.
Yeah, you can.
No.
Well, not if you were employed by a firm, but I'm saying if you signed up for Uber for consulting, you can certainly be the technology consultant and go to somebody's house and help them with technology. Or if you were a doctor...
But if I work for Deloitte, I couldn't do that, right?
You couldn't, no.
Yeah.
But if I'm a medical doctor, if I'm a surgeon, and somebody said, I need a surgeon to my house...
I think it works that way.
No, but I'm just saying that could be the...
I understand what you mean.
Anyways, I just wanted to...
I'm getting nitpicky, of course. About
I just want to... There's a gray area between the sharing economy and the freelancer economy. Yeah. I believe that the future... It's not a winner-take-all market, although I think Uber has already won the specific one, which is whether it's ride sharing or car sharing, whatnot. I think they've won that. I think it's done.
Do you think it's done?
It's over. It's over.
You don't think Lyft has any chance?
Well, we don't have Lyft here. What I'm hearing is that they're done. Actually, in China, I know Uber's, they have a big investment in China.
Yeah.
There's a competitor in China. I don't know if you're familiar.
No.
They're bigger than Uber in China right now. So, there's competitors in different markets that, like, we are not necessarily in tune with every single day.
Yeah.
They might make something happen as well as we move to a global economy. But I think in that realm, it's over. Like, the game is over. But I think in other realms, there's going to be winners, but I don't think they're going to be able to gain a considerable. I don't think they're going to be like the $40 billion companies. I think we're sort of in a bubble too. Like I think there needs to value these valuations that some of these companies have right now. And now we're getting to a tangent topic, but I think some of the valuations that these companies have are grossly inflated because they're not based on revenues. They're based on something else.
Potential market size or whatever, yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
So anyways, what I'm saying is that there is going to be different niches and different markets that people will dominate. I'm not sure, and people are already getting into it, and they're building Uber for X and Lyft for this, and Airbnb for X.
So to sum up, you think that the sharing economy will grow?
Yes.
But you don't agree with my opinion that there will be a winner take all first.
I don't agree with any of your opinions.
Okay.
No. All
right. That's good to know.
We'll see. We'll see what Apple does. We'll see what Alphabet does.
Yes.
And we'll see.
What do you think about the whole automated car industry? How do you think that'll affect Uber and ride sharing and the sharing economy and stuff in general?
Honestly, I can't wait to get an automated car. The getting into a car is probably for North Americans or people who live in these types of countries where you spend all day in traffic. It's a huge waste of time. Mm-hmm. It's such a productivity loss to be in your car. And so by having automated cars, it's going to not only be a huge productivity, you're not only going to gain an amazing amount of productivity, but it's going to transform industries. It's going to create new industries, new business models, new forms of entertainment. It's going to be, I can't wait, man. What are your thoughts?
I totally agree. I think it'll just take the sharing economy in terms of cars much further than what it is now. Because if you think about what it is right now, for an Uber driver, you still need a person. But with automated cars, you can operate at all hours. You don't need to feed or stop because someone needs a bathroom break. You need less cars on the road. Really.
Yeah.
And that's just good for the environment. That's good for traffic and congestion.
Absolutely.
Maybe we don't even need traffic lights and things like that. I don't know.
There you go.
That would...
And do you think that's going to be a winner-take-all market? Automated vehicles.
For some reason, I don't think that's going to be a winner-take-all market because there's so many different players and they all have a different take on the automated car industry. Because if you look at, for instance, Google, well, let's look at Google for one thing. Google has automated cars, but their strategy is to get as many users as possible so that they can get the data. They're thinking about Google cars, Wi-Fi enabled cars, thinking about traffic. There's cameras on the cars so they can do like real-time street view if they wanted to.
Right.
It's just about information for Google and advertising. And then contrast that with Uber, where I think the strategy is not about getting information, but more about just giving rides to people.
Right.
And I mean, I don't necessarily know what data they collect. I'm sure they are collecting some data and they're using that in some sort of big data analysis in the back end. But for now, at least, their strategy is to give fares to people at a reasonable price.
Right.
And to do that continuously, because the more fares that they can pick up, the more money they'll get.
Yeah. Well, I think once you combine automated vehicles, or driverless cars, what do you want to talk about? Connected vehicles, electric vehicles, all these different innovations together, you're gonna see incredible productivity gains, incredible efficiency gains, and just an amazing wealth of new business models and startups and a whole ecosystem of just different types of thinking. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Well, you know what? I'm excited to go on this ride with you.
Do you want to buy a book?
Why don't I? You might have to. You might like. I might get into your.
All right. Into the back seat.
Into the back seat. Yeah.
Innovative, it's cool, and I just
Gets
want
you
to
out there
see.
too, right?
Yeah, I mean, I get to meet cool people like yourselves, and
Right? It's badass.
yeah,
You don't get
exactly.
any truck morons yet?
Actually, yeah. So no, I haven't.
You haven't?
Yeah. So most of my rides have, and I try to drive only kind of early in the night. I don't drive late at night. So most of my rides have been people that want to get drunk and driving them to the bars. But yeah.
All I know is I couldn't drive people around, especially after the bar.
Yeah,
That's patience you need to be, like a cab driver.
Yo, man, go to McDonald's, man. Yo, let's stop off at Denny's.
And you know what? Everyone's voice is just like 10 times louder when they're hammered.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, what the fuck, man? They're super loud.
I'm excited to get into these other cars with other Uber drivers and taxi drivers. This is gonna be a great episode. I feel it. I'm feeling it, man.
I know it'll be a great episode. I just know.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
So episode 3 of the Dip next week. What's coming up next week?
Next week, I am talking to the publishing industry. I'm talking to someone from Venture Publishing.
Cool.
They do the custom magazines and the Alberta Venture magazine. And I'm talking to...
No one reads magazines anymore.
Well, you'll be surprised to find out.
All right, let's do that. All right, this was fun, Wang, and I will see you in your Uber.
Okay.
Okay, so we should say, so go ahead, do it.
Thank you for listening, guys. We hope you enjoyed the Dip. If you want more episodes, you can listen to us. You can find more episodes on iTunes or your favorite podcast player on Windows or Android.
I like that one. That was good. It was a good spot, I would say.
Yeah.